Yo, how's it going everyone? This is Cause Legend Kid speaking, and welcome to the next 5-minute review, more or less, of a game called Under Hero. Under Hero is a 2D side-scroller RPG adventure game with timing-based combat, so no turns, inspired by Paper Mario and other RPGs. It tells the story of a world where the chosen hero has failed, and an underling of the main villain takes his place as the new hero. Released September 19, 2018. Developer and publisher by Paper Castle Games. So as far as this game goes, not that many pros, way too many cons. Let's start with the pros. The dialogue. I thought the dialogue was actually pretty good. It definitely made me laugh the way the characters acted within each other. The art style was awesome. I definitely liked the zoom in and zoom out in locations and not just keeping everything in one aspect ratio, which was really nice. So obviously the close things you can get near, the far things it would go far away. So that was a good thing. The way you can zoom in your UI. So when it comes to looking at your missions or at the maps, you can actually zoom in, which is really good. The final boss fight was actually really awesome. I enjoyed how they basically broke the fourth wall, I guess you can say, like just broke everything about what the game was based around and did their own little thing. I thought that was really good. The bad parts, which is a whole lot of them, is like the build-up towards the end boss. For me, it took so long to the point where I just didn't really care anymore. So the build-up for the final boss was... It took so long to get to them that it just made the final boss just feel a little bit meh. Like you were kind of expecting, oh, there's definitely going to be more. Where's the plot twist? Oh, here's the plot twist. Oh, that's an interesting mechanic. And we're done. It's like, I don't know. Maybe because of how long it took for me to get that, I just sort of stopped caring, which is a really bad thing. So as cool as the awesome... As the final boss was, it just took so long to the point where I just no longer cared. Besides that, slow combat. So even though it is inspired by Paper Mario and other RPGs, I just felt like the combat was way too slow, considering the fact that large majority of the time it was basically just you versus one other enemy, which made it feel a little bit too slow. And most likely that I just wasn't playing the game right, which could easily be a thing, but I don't know. I just, for me, the combat was way too slow. Another thing was the slingshot speed. So you basically have 3 weapons that you can use, and one of them is a slingshot, and I just felt like aiming the slingshot was like way out there for some reason. The speed of you correcting like your movement as to where the enemy would be was way too slow, so you couldn't really control the speed. And then by the time you threw your shot, sometimes the enemy would just no longer be there because of how fast they go. So I was not a fan of enemies that were either away from you where you couldn't use your sword, or anything that could fly, because they could either fly really fast or just completely dodge your attack just because of you not being able to aim in the spot where you want to aim by the time they're there. So yeah, not too keen on that type of mechanic whatsoever. Just thought it was super janky. I'm not really sure if that was the point of it or not, but again, the ending was dragged on, so by the time you did the so-called missions, like the so-called storyline of what the game wants you to do, and then actually leading yourself towards the end boss, for me, it just took way too long. I did not feel like the game had enough puzzles to suddenly throw puzzles into your face. It just felt awkward. It's like you're playing throughout the entire game, sort of just running around, killing stuff, gaining XP and whatnot in order to level up, and then you get to the final boss, and then you go to the next section, and then all of a sudden, final area has puzzles. I don't know, everything about it felt off to me. So, yeah. In overall, I would say it's definitely something worth checking out. Like, the game is not bad, but it's also not good. I'm not really sure what was missing. Maybe faster combat, maybe skippable cutscenes, no skippable cutscenes, or dialogue. Some of the bosses were off, like they would deal a crap ton of damage, you would deal very little damage to them, so it just felt like you just kept doing the same thing over and over and over again until you finally got them down. I did experience one boss just totally disappearing on me, so I had to kill myself in order to restart the fight. So yeah, the game was sort of a little bit everywhere. Like, it didn't really know what it wanted to do. I would feel like the end boss mechanics, I felt like if they would have peppered in like glitches or weird ass mechanics to lead up to the final boss everywhere, or you know, after a like certain point into the game, the game would have been that much more interesting. But because it just sort of did all of its special things at the very end, it just sort of felt like it's cool, but it's I don't know. It just took way too long. So if anything, if you definitely have this game, you should definitely check it out and give it a try. Otherwise, I don't recommend it, just because of how slow it was. I didn't really see any Paper Mario or other RPG mechanics into the game, besides the fact that of the combat, where you just attack when you can and block when you can, and that's pretty much it. Like, the whole choosing stats was, I don't know, a little bit pointless to me. But yeah, maybe the game just wasn't for me, to be honest. Again, the game was fun, but I don't know, it did not hit it for me at all. So with anything, recommend it if you have it. Otherwise, watch a playthrough or just wait for a massive discount, because I can't really recommend this at full price. It's just not worth it. In my opinion, there's way better things out there than to experience an okay game. But again, that's just my opinion. For anyone that did watch the playthrough, hope you guys enjoyed. I was hoping the game would get better, but it just didn't get there for me. But yeah, with that being said, I am done. Hopefully this didn't deter you from playing the game. Definitely suggest you try it out. But yeah, those are my opinions. Hope to see you on the next review, and with that, take care.